Okay, in yesterday's class, we discussed about how to fetch input data from the Excel, and we are executing our test multiple times for different sets of input data. So actually, I want to tell you one important step. I forgot to tell that step. I will tell you that step now. So in the data provider Excel, you are specifying Excel file path. Okay. See here, my Excel sheet name is tc01 underscore skills.78.xlsx. Suppose I'm going back to my C drive, HTML report, Orange HRM6. So I want to check TC01 skills 78. So this is the extension of this file is. So just right click and click on properties. The extension of this file is .xlsx here. Okay, if you observe here, the extension of the file is .xlsx here. Okay, tc01.xlsx here. Suppose if you see this Excel tc01 underscore structure, so I'm right clicking and I'm clicking on properties, and the extension of this Excel file is .xls. Okay, so if you in your systems, if my Microsoft Office 97 and 2003 is installed, and whenever you are creating any Excel, so right click and you are clicking on new Excel, by default the extension will be created .xls. But in my system, I'm using Office 2010, Office 2013, so higher version of above than 2003. Okay, if it is installed, the extension of the Excel file will be .xlsx. Okay, so in latest MS Office, the extension file will be created as .xlsx. Okay, so that means suppose if you are taking this Excel and you are copying, and if you are doing paste like this, okay, and you are renamed to tc01 underscore skills 78 skills 79, something like this. Okay, and you are going to use this Excel sheet name, so tc01, and if you are going and if you are giving like this, so the extension you mentioned here, so you are you are specifying in your program, the program, it has to fetch input data from .xlsx, but actually the file, it was not there .xlsx. So this is the extension of the file is .xls. So the system cannot able to find the file not found exception, it will throw you, and it cannot be executed if I will execute that program. So you have to make sure what is the extension of the Excel file. Okay, and after that you can give proper Excel file .xlsx, then you could able to get the program could able to connect exact Excel sheet, and it can able to fetch input data. Okay, hope everyone got the point. So what are the extension files for Excel will be available? .xls and .xlsx. So the latest version of Office is 2010, 2013, 2016. So almost in every systems, if you are creating an Excel, by default, the extension of the file you will see .xlsx only. But in case while doing copy and paste the existing test case, so like this, and you are trying to fetch, so then your file could not able to locate, because .xls file, it cannot be located. Okay, because in your program you specified the extension of the file is .xlsx. Okay, make sure you have connected with the right Excel and with proper extension. Okay, right. So in today's program, we are going to see browser compatibility testing. So what is mean by browser compatibility testing? So the compatibility means the program, it has to execute on Chrome browser and Firefox browser. The same program I want to execute on Chrome browser, and the same program I want to execute on Firefox browser. Okay, let's see this part. So I'm going back to TC01 skill 78. This is the Excel I'm taking. Okay, and I'm taking copy and I'm pasting here. So TC01 skills 79, I made it. So I'm opening this Excel. So I'm going to give one more parameter as browser. So I'm selecting this cell and I'm clicking on format painter and I'm applying the same style for this column as well. Just for to understanding parameters, I highlighted border color. Okay. So the first program I want to execute on Chrome browser. The first iteration I want to execute on Chrome browser, and second iteration I want to execute on Firefox browser. Okay. So like this, I made the changes in my Excel sheet now. So right now, how many parameters are there here? 1, 2, 3, 6. Okay. So I'm closing my Excel. So TC0179.xls. So let me change this. Okay, let me copy this program and make it another program. Okay. So here I want to change my Excel sheet as 79. So the first point is done. I connected with the relevant Excel. Okay. And second point is, what is my first parameter in my Excel? Browser. Okay, let me write that one. String browser. You can write variable name, whatever you want. So that means the first value I can fetch from the browser is during the first iteration, my browser value will be loaded as Chrome. And during the second iteration, my browser value will be loaded as Firefox, because that is the value it will be fetched from the Excel. So during the second iteration, this value will be fetched, and during the first iteration, this value will be fetched. So let me go to the program. So here open Chrome browser means when this method has to execute, if my browser, okay, I'm writing a condition, how to write a condition. So you are going to learn how to write if condition in Java. So in Java, so if browser dot equals ignore case of Chrome. So that means if browser value equal to Chrome, okay, this method will be invoked. Okay. Else, okay. So the best way you need to write if conditions like this. So the if block condition we can write like this. Okay, I will write single if only. Okay, 1 second. If browser equals ignore case of Firefox. So what is the value here? So you suppose if this is the value. 1 second. Firefox. I want to call my method name as open Firefox browser. Okay. So let me write that program. Driver is equal to, I can call test browser. Test browser dot Firefox browser. Okay. So like this I can write. 1 second. Or you can write, so instead of this one, let me write, this is the best one, reusable method, I can write it. So if browser value is Chrome, then my driver object will be pointed to Chrome browser. If my browser value is Firefox, my driver object will be pointed to Firefox browser. That means whenever this method will be executed, so I will be navigated to test browser class, and these are the lines of code will be executed, and driver one object will be returned. So Chrome driver and these lines of code will be executed, and driver one will get the access, and rest all methods it will be executed on open RNGHRM, login, add skills, all methods will be executed on Chrome browser. Okay, suppose if my browser value is Firefox, so I'm pressing on Firefox browser method, so it will be navigated to system.setProperty webdriver.gcode.driver. If it is Firefox browser, we need to write like this: webdriver.gcode.driver, and I have to specify gcodedriver.exe path. So that means in my C drive, under this Firefox driver folder, okay, so let me go to my C drive. So here it contains Chrome driver path. Similarly, I'm going to create one folder, Firefox driver folder. It should contain gcodedriver.exe. So the gcodedriver.exe will invoke Firefox browser. Okay, so I don't have gcodedriver.exe. I have to download gcodedriver.exe. In my system, Firefox is already installed. Okay, and I have to download gcodedriver.exe. Okay. So now everyone understood, right? So I will download that gcodedriver.exe. I will tell you. So, and I am writing driver. So WebDriver driver2 is equal to and driver2 new Firefox driver, and thread.sleep means, so the execution will be paused for 8 seconds. Okay, so after 8 seconds, the window will be maximized. Okay, so why I have written thread.sleep 8 seconds execution pause means the Firefox browser, it will be launched very slowly. So that's why I specified thread.sleep 8000. 8000 means 8 seconds. Okay, 8000 milliseconds. So driver2.manage.window.maximize, and this driver2, it will return and it will give back to control to here. Driver is equal to driver2. So that is the meaning. So this is the actual meaning. Understood, right? Just like open Chrome browser, we are invoking browser of Firefox browser. So to invoke a Firefox browser, we are writing webdriver.gcode.driver, and I have to specify gcodedriver.exe, and driver2 is equal to new Firefox driver, and I'm maximizing and I'm returning the driver. Okay. So now let's go to the gcode. So I have to download gcodedriver.exe. So to download gcodedriver.exe, I have given some shortcut in day 01 demo program. You can go and run Firefox test. This is the program I'm going to execute now. Okay, so I'm executing this program. So Firefox test. So this is the program I'm executing. What will happen, I will tell you. In day 01 demo, so to download gcodedriver.exe, I'm executing this program. So see here, gcodedriver. So program is launched. Okay, so now I'm going back to my console. See, in the console, you could able to see under this location. Okay, wait. Right. So here, if you see under C users m.m2 repository, so the gcodedriver.exe file was downloaded at this location automatically. So I'm going to this path. So Control C, I copied the path and I'm navigating to that path. See, this is the gcodedriver.exe automatically downloaded in your system. Okay. So, and I'm copying this gcodedriver.exe and I'm pasting into my Firefox browser here. Okay. So I have downloaded my gcodedriver.exe and I have pasted. So this is the easy way to download the gcodedriver.exe. So actually how we are downloading Chrome driver. So if you want to download Firefox browser, you can go and download like this also. So download gcodedriver.exe. Download gcodedriver. So here it contains some gcodedriver.exe files. So you need to check what is the version of your gcodedriver.exe help and about. No, not here. So you need to navigate to your gcodedriver. Okay, just like Chrome browser, how we have downloaded. we have to know help about Firefox. So here you are using 96 version, and you have to make sure you have to download corresponding Firefox browser. Okay, so to download that one, so you need to download it from the website and you have to download it. So actually that is a big lengthy process. So the easiest way to download the gcodriver.exe, so you can go to day01 demo program and you can execute this Firefox test program. Automatically that gcodriver.exe will be downloaded. And after that, I'm copying this gcodriver.exe and I'm placing into my C drive under Firefox driver folder. I pasted. Hope everyone could able to do this step. Okay, understood, right, everyone? So this is the easy way you can download gcodriver.exe, and after that you can come to this program. So now I'm going back to our main program. So if I will execute my program, the first iteration it will be executed on Chrome browser, and the second iteration it will be executed on Firefox browser, because the browser value it will come as Firefox, and anyway this condition it won't be executed because the condition will be failed here. During the second iteration, my browser value is Firefox, and driver object will be pointed to Firefox, and rest all the lines of code it will be executed on Firefox browser. Okay, let me execute this program now. Why first iteration itself it's executing Chrome Firefox only? 1 second. Okay, now let me execute the program. Okay, got it. So I have to declare my WebDriver as static. I'm declaring. So first iteration was executed on Chrome, and the second iteration it was started on Firefox browser. So I have given 8 seconds to launch Firefox browser. After that, the application URI will be invoked. So it's executing login name. Okay. So we understood the first iteration was successfully executed on Chrome browser, but the second iteration it was failed while executing add skills method. It was failed. Understood, right? So that means the application which is failing on Firefox browser, we can log the issue and we can report it. Okay, we have to inform to the development team. So the compatibility testing was failed, and Chrome browser the program is executing perfectly. Okay, so something related to Firefox browser, they have to fix the issues. Understood, right? Suppose I anyway log up to login part it is executing perfectly. Let me execute it now. So I'm doing driver.quit. So I'm not calling that method. So again, I'm going to execute this program now. So program closed, and the second iteration, it was started on Firefox browser. So that means we could able to execute our program on the required browser combination by implementing like this. Okay. Which one? Yeah. So even if you are giving capitals or small letters, I'm calling a method as equals ignore case. So the value, it will, irrespective of the upper or lower case, it will check for the condition. If it is the value as Chrome, it will matches and it will check this method, and it will matches for this one and it will be checked. Okay. So hope everyone understood how to write an if condition. Okay. So just simply we are writing this one, or simply we are writing this one, and in the Excel I have added one more parameter, and I am referring to a correct Excel, and the parameter value I'm fetching. So like that. So in the interviews, people will ask a question, how do you implement browser compatibility testing? So in that case, what we need to say, so if browser equals ignore case of Chrome browser, I can write driver is equal to test browser dot open Chrome browser. And if browser equals ignore case of Firefox browser, then I will write driver is equal to test browser dot Firefox browser. And the driver object will be pointed to corresponding web browser, and the rest all methods will be executed on corresponding browser. Okay. So like that, we can able to execute the test on required browser combinations. Anybody is having any doubts before I moving on to the, so that is the exact lab in lab number 7. No, I'm not clear. Okay. I told you in every program you can declare WebDriver as static only. Okay. Why we are declaring WebDriver as static, I will tell you in a separate class. But make sure in all your programs you are declaring WebDriver as static only. Okay. Then your program will be executed smoothly. Okay. So sometimes if you are not declaring as static, it won't be executed. Why it won't be executed, I will tell you in the separate class. Okay. Any other doubts? Okay, hope everyone understood. So you see, this is the program I have given an example in Orange HRM. 1 second, let me close this program. So non-static parameters. So add nationality. So if browser equals ignore case of Chrome, so the nationality method will be executed on Chrome. If browser equals ignore case of Firefox, it will be executed on Firefox. If browser equals ignore case of IE browser, the program will be executed on IE browser. So for open IE browser method also, I have written the lines of code in this one. So WebDriver driver and system. So the driver object, it will be written, and the program can be executed on IE browser. And once IE browser launched, I have given 10 seconds execution bus before invoking the application URI. I have given, because IE browser and Firefox browser execution will be very slow. Okay. About this line of code, I will tell you in the next class. Understood, right? So we could able to execute our test on the required browser combination, whatever value you have specified in the Excel. So in the TC01 nationality 3.xlsx. So if I will go and check my C drive HTML report, Orange HRM6, TC01 nationality 3.xlsx. See here, my first iteration, it will be executed on Chrome, and second iteration, it will be executed on Firefox browser. So like that. Understood, everyone? So that's it on the data provider summary. So we had completed up to lab number 7. Okay. So now I'm moving on to lab number 8, emailable reports. Okay. Before moving on, so let me give the introduction about emailable report background. Okay. So far you are executing your program by running the TestNG class run as TestNG test. You are executing the program, and you are able to view the execution status in the console. Okay. But the output report, nowhere it has been generated. Okay. Finally, after the objective of automation is you have to execute the program and you have to share the results to client. but the console output, we could not able to send the results to client. So there is a report, some HTML report, it will be generated, and we have to share that report to client. Okay, so once after executing the program has been executed successfully, some HTML report will be generated automatically, and we can copy that HTML report and we can send it to client. So and so test cases has been executed successfully, but console output we could not able to send it. Okay, so for that purpose, we are going to learn lab number 8, emailable report. So let me do that part. Okay, so the first program is test example. Test example. So in this program, I have written set of driver instructions. Driver.get test URL, launching of application URI, enter username, enter password, and click on login button, and I'm closing the browser. Driver.close means the browser will be closed automatically. I have written set of driver instruction. By following set of driver instruction, I'm writing a statement reporter.log, 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 reporter.log. So within the double quotation, I can write whatever custom message that I want to print in the HTML report I'm writing. So whatever message that you will write it here, that message, it will be generated in the emailable HTML report. Okay, so this is the reporter class we had imported from. So TestNG has provided a class name as reporter. So this is a predefined class in TestNG. Okay, so we have imported reporter class and reporter.log. So for every set of driver instruction, I have written some meaningful information to print the evidences in the emailable report. So like that, I have written log statement. And after that, I'm going to generate for this test example.java. I'm going to generate testng.xml file. Okay, so for any of the, so going forward, I won't execute the program directly like run as testng test like this. For any of the testng class, I will generate testng.xml. After that, I can select that testng.xml and I will click on run button. Okay, let's see how to generate testng.xml. So I'm selecting this one. I'm going to testng. I'm clicking on convert to testng. So right click on the testng class and go to testng and click on convert to testng. See, after clicking on convert to testng, you will be prompted this screen. Okay, here you could able to see the package name and class name, test example. Okay, so here here this one is the package name day 008 emailable report and test example. So here, and let me browse where I want to generate my testng.xml. So I'm browsing my package day 08 emailable report. So I'm clicking on browse and I'm expanding my project. So under SRC test Java, it contains lab number 8 emailable report. So at this location, I want to generate testng.xml. I'm clicking on next and I'm clicking on finish. See, the testng.xml was generated automatically. So this is the testng.xml got generated. Okay, so like this we can generate the testng.xml. So I'm telling again one more time. So I have to right click, go to testng and click on convert to testng. So and I need to browse where is my lab number 8. So under SRC test Java, I have to select lab number 8. Click on OK, next, and click on finish. That's it. The testng.xml will be generated. So I'm not executing this program directly, and I selected this testng.xml, and I can go as run as testng test. See here the testng.xml, it contains package name and class name. day 08 emailable report dot test example. So like this, it has been generated, and I'm selecting run as testng test. So that means for a testng class, I generated testng.xml, and by using testng.xml, I'm executing the program. Okay. So if you are executing the program through testng.xml, then only emailable HTML report will be generated automatically. Okay. So let me show you where emailable HTML report has been generated. So let's go back to, there will be a test output folder in your project folder. So see at bottom, I could able to see test output folder, which contains emailable report.html. So there is a test output folder which contains emailable report.html. So right click and click on open with web browser. See, whatever log statements that I have written, each and every log statement, it was printed in the console. Because in your program, you have written report.log, pass open orange HRM, pass enter username, pass enter password 1, pass click on sign in 1. See, this is the program has been executed successfully under package name, class name, test example, and the test one method was executed, and these many milliseconds it was taken to execute this program. So this program was executed successfully, and we can share this emailable report. Just we can copy, right click and copy, and we can paste it on the desktop. Okay. And we can share this emailable report to client. So we could able to see, yeah, this program was executed on so and so date, and like that. Okay. So if you go and see the test example 1, so in lab number 8, if you are going and seeing the lab number 8, okay, so whatever log statement that I have written, so each and every log statement was printed correctly. Suppose if I will give invalid locator 1 2 3 something like that. Okay. So how the emailable report will be generated, we will see. Okay. So I'm saving this program. So if driver could not able to locate the web element, what kind of exception it will throw? No such element exception.
Not find any exception.
Okay, because the web element, the driver could not able to locate that name. Okay, on the web on the HTML page. So then it will throw an exception as no such element exception. So let me run this program now by using testng.xml. So I'm closing this program, and by using testng.xml, run as testng test. So now let's see, the program execution will be failed, and how many log statements it will be printed, we will see. Okay, so I'm going back. Okay, so here you won't get any kind of exception in the console because you executed program through testng.xml. So simply it is showing failure only, but the failed exception, nothing it has been generated in console. Okay, so you have to navigate to test output folder and select the emailable report.html and open with browser. See, this is the emailable report. So this is the test got failed, and it is showing unable to locate element name submit 1 2 3, and these many logs only it was generated successfully. That means the if client is going through the report, so he can easily understand so and so log statement was not generated and your test has been failed. So you can work on that issue. They will tell you like that. Okay, and it is the evidence that script has been failed. Okay, so like that we can generate testng.xml. Okay, and we can going forward in all programs, we won't generate any of the program directly. Okay, because the purpose of automation is you have to share output report to the client. So for any of the testng class, we have to generate testng.xml, and we can go through the test output folder and we can see the emailable report. Okay, so if anybody will ask you what is the purpose of testng.xml, what we have to say? To generate the reports, to generate the emailable reports, to generate the emailable reports, we have to generate testng.xml. Okay, whenever we will execute the program to testng.xml only, emailable report will be generated. Okay, suppose if you are going and executing directly testng class, emailable report, it won't be generated at all. Okay, so only emailable report will be generated whenever you are executing the program through testng.xml only. Got the point, everyone? Yeah. So now let's go to the second point. So test example, we have seen how to write the log statements, we understood. And I'm going to the second program in emailable report, second program. So far, can everyone please go on mute? Okay. So far we understood only one annotation tag name as @test. Okay. @test means that is the main test. If you don't write @test, your program cannot be executed. That's we already know. Okay. If you don't write @test here, your test cannot be executed at all. Okay. So in this program, I'm going to explain some more another annotation tags. So like @before test and @after test. So and generally in the @before test, we will write launching of browser. Okay. So before the test, whatever, so launching of browser I'm writing here, and the main test part, login methods, add nationality, add skills, all such methods I can develop it in the @test. So I can write all the set of driver instruction main logic I can write in the @test. Once all my business logic executed successfully, and to close the browser in the @after test section, I can write driver.close. Okay, so that means in the real time, while writing the testng class programs, people will write @before test, and people will write @after test. So generally in the before test section, launching of browser code it will contains, and closing of the browser content it will be written in the @after test. So in the interviews, what are the annotation tags that you know? If anybody will ask, you have to tell @before test and @after test. Okay, so what kind of code you will write means you have to explain same thing. Okay, right. So far in our all programs, launching of browser code also we have written in the @test. But the best practice is you have to separate launching of browser in the @before test section, and closing of the browser session you have to write it in the @after test. Okay, so like that. So and I have written reporter.log statement here as well, and I have written reporter.log statement in the @after test as well. Even if you are writing reporter.log section in the @before test or @after test, these log statements cannot be generated in your emailable report. Okay, only the log statements wherever you have written in the @test, those log statements can be visible in the emailable report. Okay, so only these log statements only which will be printed. Suppose if you are writing report.log in the before test section, that log message cannot be printed in your emailable report. Okay, even in @after test also. So even if you are writing also, so that log statements cannot be generated. In such a way, the reporter.log has been developed. Okay, so no need to write reporter.log statements in the @before and @after. Why I have written? So to prove that these log statements cannot be generated in testng class. So to prove that one, I'm going to generate testng.xml for this one. Okay, so now let's go and generate testng.xml. Okay, one second. Click on, so here I'm giving click on sign into. Okay, for to understand emailable report. Okay, so I'm going to, so how I need to generate testng.xml? Can you please tell me? Right click.
Right click.
testng